Okay, so comparing left to right, you can see that there are sections in the page builder which correspond to content on the right. And some of that content is text content, and some of it is, images, some icons, columns, and there's a menu at the top. That menu at the top is not reflected in the page builder layout here. That's actually part of the default template there. And the reason I've stuck with that is because it is through that that we get the responsive change from a horizontal menu to this vertical pull down menu here. So I don't want to muck about with that too much. So suffice to say, everything except the menu at the top is controlled through the page layout for each page. And there is a there is a set of tools provided by Divi that allows us to load pre-made layouts. They're very careful not to call them templates. They're called layouts, predefined layouts, and I've defined some layouts for this particular site. And here are the standard ones that come with Divi. And I think I've used an About Us one here for the About Us page, which incorporates a map function. Okay, so one thing to bear in mind is that these layouts are different on a page-by-page basis. That's important because each of these pages are laid out slightly differently. So for example, here you've got an area of text with an image on the right, and then you've got 4 columns, and then a single column, and then some footer information. That's on the home page. The About page is laid out differently. You've got text on the left, and a column of images, and a call to action up here on the right hand side. And then below that is a single column that spans the full width. You see, so that layout is different from the home page. And so our layout in Divi is going to be different as well. I think that pretty much the other pages are very similar. There's a slight difference on this page in that there is an additional full width column here, which we can handle in a number of different ways. Okay, so going back to the home page, got a section here with text on the left and an image on the right. So that's effectively 2 columns, and that's reflected here on the left hand side. Got a text box here, so you can see that text on the web page, which is here. That text on the web page is editable in this column, sorry, in this module on the left hand side. So basically you browse to the page, see that text there, that's a text box, click on that icon, and then we can edit the text. There's a few other things that we can control here as well. The text color to an extent, the orientation, whether it's centered or left or right aligned, and then there's also the standard WordPress tools here, and we can do fancy things like adding buttons and tabs and toggles and all sorts of things as well, as we normally would be able to do. One thing that I often do for clients is change the admin label here. So for example, that just says text, but we can make it a bit more descriptive so that we can remember what that control actually is. So we'll just call that main page or main text, for example, and then so that just jogs our memory as to what that actually is. The image on the right is an image module, and so I've just uploaded that to the media library, and that comes up there, and there's a whole bunch of things that we can do with this as well. And as you can see, we can control fade in, which makes the page all the more dynamic and interesting. So I'll just refresh the screen on the right hand side here and you can see what I mean. You see that faded in there, and you can see there's little micro animations for a lot of these things, which is part of modern web page design. Okay, so there's a few other things that are available there as well. So that's basically the top row there is, well, the row of main content is controlled by this section here.